Welcome to Constance Messmer. I'm really excited that you are going to be a part of today's segment. We are going to talk about empathic connection. And I am really going to be splitting hairs on this. Why? Because I think part of my talent and part of my calling in this incarnation is to really pull out the threads of how we have psychic experiences or our own soul awarenesses that occur in our life and can occur if we only pay attention. And I believe that if I really pull the different ways apart, you can discover where you can relate or where you might want to work at and build your own threads of connection in your life and in your world as we carry this journey further along. So I'm excited that you are here with me again. Take notes if you want, or just listen to it again and again. All right, excellent. Empathy means to have sympathy or compassion for another. This is because we are able to experience in our imagination through our intellectual process what another person is going through. Everyone can experience figurative empathy as this intellectual process of awareness. But as a psychic experience, empathy in an empathic connection is literally felt because it is experienced on a soul level and not just an intellectual one. In other words, you don't just understand what someone is going through. You know, because you can feel it or comprehend it personally, as if it is happening to you too. With this form of getting information psychically, people have a direct experience of the physical, the emotional, or the intellectual state of another, or a combination of all three. In this process, I and you use your soul as a unitive link. An empathic connection is made by joining in another's energy field to find out information. It allows you to experience things from another's perspective. An empathic connection works to learn how they are feeling physically, what they are feeling emotionally, and what or how they are thinking. In other words, their thought process. However, and this is me splitting hairs, this does not inform you why they are feeling or why they are thinking this way. To get to the root of why, you would have to use various other psychic skill sets. An empathic connection occurs when people unknowingly or knowingly share their energy field with another to experience that person's physical, emotional, or intellectual state. When you do this, you are literally blending with them. This happens on a soul level. And so you can be anywhere to tune in. You could be standing right next to them, or they could be miles and miles away, across the world even. And they can even be on the other side, no longer in the body. When you use an empathic connection as a way of getting psychic information or trying to discern on a soul level about a person, it is imperative that you do it consciously and with intention, recognizing that you are connecting with the other in this way. Therefore, then, it's imperative that you know how to disconnect your energy, how to clear your energy, and how to ground your energy after your connection has been made. And this is also why, for many people that are empathic without realizing it, who are unconsciously or unknowingly connecting to others, it's important that these people, you people that are incredibly sensitive, learn how to put up fields of protection and be able to work with your aura and feel the subtle sensations that are hitting your body. This is why all those other lessons have come before this lesson now. I also believe at this time that the overall meaning of so many people connecting with others on an empathic level is to realize that we are making a giant shift in human evolution. And that shift is to recognize our oneness with others. I am very empathic, and I use my empathic skills when I do reads, whether for a large group or one-on-one, or even mediumship when I am helping people connect to the other side. Because I'm sharing and blending my energy field to get information, it's important that when I'm done with my session, or even when I'm done with a read of one person in a large group, that I step back, I disconnect the connection, and clear my energy field and ground back into my own experience. You might be aware of this when you're with certain friends that their energy's heavy to be around, and you're feeling in your body their heaviness that they're going through in their body. And by heaviness, I mean, emotional or physical feelings. And it's beyond, oh, I can relate to your experience because I've lived through it myself, or, oh, I feel for you. You are literally feeling what they're feeling. And so that's where it's going to be important when you notice the subtle sensations on or in your body that a certain situation is bringing you down or exhausting you or wiping you out, that you need to pull back and maybe reflect the mirror trick, the light around them, douse them with light, or even wash your own energy field and suck your auric field in. All those skills that we've gone through before that are really important that you learn to put into practice. But the first thing is to be aware of your own soul's awareness, that you're literally picking up their energy and it's mirroring in not only your mirror neurons, right? But in your body and on your energy field and in your soul awareness. As I said, an empathic connection works so that you can learn how another is feeling physically, what they are feeling emotionally, or what or how they are thinking in regards to their thought process. So let me tell you about making a physical empathic connection. And of course, I'm going to term it Empathic ClairSensation. So again, it's ClairSensation, having a clear physical feeling register in your soul awareness, but as an empathic connection. So Empathic ClairSensation. And this is the ability to share another's energy so that you can experience the other's physical state. Sharing their energy field like this helps you know what is going on with them physically. This can happen on purpose or not. Some people don't even know that they are doing it when they do. Instead, they are affected by another's physical state, thinking that what they are physically experiencing actually belongs to them and not to someone else. It has been my experience that many people that are empathic and aren't aware of it are also natural energy healers or energy conductors. And by that, I mean, maybe you give someone a hug and you walk away with a stomachache and they feel great. Or you've just spent time with someone and their whole body feels weighted down with various ailments, and you walk away from the connection and they feel better or relieved of their symptoms while you feel emblazoned with their symptoms, because you've actually, in the embrace or in the time together, your energy has picked up their energy of these physical symptoms, and they're being transmuted through your body, which means you definitely need to clear the energy up. Remember, offering all that up, imagining collecting all that negativity or that disgruntled energy or that distraught energy, and sending it up to the angels to help cleanse and clear. And then you yourself standing, imagining and asking the heavens to rain down a shower of clearing energy so that you might be brought back to yourself. And realizing that these experience can be happening. Listen, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? Some of you might be like, what the heck is she talking about? But some of you are like, oh my God, that's what's going on an energetic level with me. I totally get it. I'm totally sensitive. I pick up other people's stuff and I will cart it around all day unless you clear. You have to clear. And so I call empaths God's little vacuum cleaners, because they're, inadvertently sucking up all the negative or the distraught energy in the room or off people. And sometimes it's without their awareness. They just feel heavy at the end of the day or irritated and can't figure it out. So this is the time, I invite you again and again to be aware of your soul's awareness, to pay attention to how am I feeling right now? It's mindfulness to your energy body, the whole body, mind, spirit thing. And this is really important for empaths, for your own self-care. So with your physical empathic ClairSensation, it's important to realize, are you haphazardly being open and aware and connecting? Or do you need to really, as part of your daily routine, like of brushing your teeth, do you need to kind of pull in your auric field like a wetsuit, before you head out into your day, so that you, with intention, open up yourself to empathic ClairSensation, to physically picking up other people's feelings? Sometimes there's certain people that I see at the grocery store and I can tell they want to hug me. Because they haven't seen me or whatever, I have to keep the grocery cart between us. The metal will conduct energy differently, right? It'll kind of blockade it. And I have to quickly douse myself with light and douse them. I mean, I can recognize that they're aching or whatnot. And I know if I hug them, I will pick it up because I do that. I'm an empath. And so it's that awareness of, you're on the planet with a purpose. Empaths are people that can use your empathic skills to help cleanse and clear in that. And it's great if you're doing healing work, or it's great if you're, doing kindness work on the planet, which we all should be doing. But it's also imperative that you learn to sense the energy that you're picking up and where it's coming from. And if it's coming from someone else, how you can clear it from yourself, right? It's just part of your life, my friend. So, story time. I did this with a horse once, right? This horse, I was working, being the animal communicator, and I did equine muscle release therapy on horses. And I was at a particular barn because I was called there because there was an accident. A horse who was pregnant, mare, was out into the field and somehow got loose and stumbled over a wall and had bit their lip on the outside, right? So a veterinarian was called in. I was called in. And I was asking the horse how they felt and what was going on using clairaudience. And I was not getting much of a reaction. Now, meanwhile, the horse was there and I was like 5, 6, 8 feet away. I was across the hall in the barn. And I was imagining shrinking the horse down to the size of my hand and holding it the horse between my cupped palms in Reiki healing energy to just send it love and light and to calm it down. The vet was floored. He saw me and said, and knew what I did for a living. And he said, "What are you doing there?" I said, "I'm holding the energy of the horse in a calm state by sending it Reiki." And I thought, "Oh, I'm going for broke." I said, "I've shrunk the horse down and it is in the palms of my hand." And he goes, "Well, whatever you're doing, keep it up, because this horse, I can't believe it's not freaking out." Now, the mare, sad to say, he couldn't give the numbing medication fast enough to work on the exterior of the mouth, the stitches that were needed on the outside. But while I held the horse in light, I made an empathic ClairSensation, an empathic connection to feel in my body what it was feeling in its body, because it couldn't talk. I think it was just, listen, I've talked to this horse before, but I think it was in such shock that it was like, couldn't speak, right? Yeah, Mr. Ed, I know what you're thinking. So here I am tuning in empathically, and I get my mouth hurts on the inside, my mouth. And then I realize, oh my gosh, the horse is bit all the way through. So I said to the vet, "Listen, check the inside of the lip. The horse is bit all the way through." And he kind of gave me a look, and then he peeled back the lip and realized the horse had bit all the way through the mouth. Oh, isn't that tragic? So tragic. So he was able to do all the stitching, and I was still able to hold the horse in light. So this is also an opportunity for those of you that have kids that maybe, or in the health profession, that are like, okay, where are they feeling it in their body? What are they feeling? And you use your body, like, let me feel it in my body, what they're feeling in their body. And it's with intention, people. And then you trust the first thing that you get and you go from there. And then when I was done, of course, after the horse was, stitched up and everything, I disconnected. And that's with intention. I release and detach all energy that's not mine. You could say something like that, or you can just say, breaking the connection, and then doused me with light, doused the horse with light. And then through the night, anytime I thought of the horse while I was in my own home, I was sending it Reiki and just holding my hands together. When I was watching TV or whatever I was doing that night, I was just, at any time that I was sitting, I would hold my hands together and imagine that horse still in my hands so that it would heal up quicker, because Reiki's that powerful. And the same is true with another experience I'm going to give you. I don't know why I'm on a vet roll. Same vet, different horse. And I'm there, and the horse, is having its knee worked on. And I was like going, all right, well, where do you feel it in your body? And I had to kind of like relax my body and going, okay, I'm like the horse. Where are you feeling it? What's going on in the horse? It said at the same time, I felt it immediately, that the pain shot right up to the back. There was something in the back that was off. And so I turned to the vet and I said, "Listen, I think that there's really something in the back is where the pain originates, spine to spot." And he kind of gave me the eye roll. And then he went up and he realized, yes, it was right. There was something off there in the bones or whatnot, whatever. I don't know if it's like chiropractic adjustment, basically. But my point is then, of course, he was like a firm believer. Like after these two things, it was it. Game over. He was on to me as, listen, this girl can do whatever she's saying. So there's ways that you can use this, and then you just shake it off. I was like, okay, disconnecting, moving on. Oftentimes when I am around certain people in my life, I can only handle their energy for so long, right? Love them dearly, love the connection in some ways, but not always. And, the same is true when we are in the office. Maybe there's certain people we can't have our desk by, or, you know what I'm talking about. And same with kids in a classroom. It's when our kids are super sensitive and empathic, and they're picking up the agitation of the others around them. Remember, the auric field goes out as far as our arms can reach on either side. So these are great skills to teach your children. They don't have to talk about it, although I think it would be fantastic if people were talking about it at an early age, energy and energy content and energy awareness and soul awareness, maybe someday. Okay, I'm going to give you one human story. So I had a client that came who every time her husband was home, he would travel a lot. And every time he was home, she would always get kind of sick. She would just not feel well. And I said, well, what kind of beds do you have? And, ideally, honestly, for the auric field, we would be in twin beds and then bring them together for intimacy and then move them apart so we can have a restful night's sleep. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? So this client had a king size bed. No, it was a queen size bed. Yeah, queen size bed. And I said, I feel like I really get that you're empathically picking up your husband's stuff every time he's home and sharing the bed with you. So that in their dream time, unconsciously, what she was aware of, or what was happening without her being aware of it, was she was picking up all of his ClairSensation experiences. So she would feel like really run down and all that when he was around. So I said, do this. Put up a big wall of light between the two of you when you go to sleep tonight. Or get a king size bed, but also put up a wall of light between you for this next week before I see you again. She came back the next week. She said, oh my God, this has been like a remarkable difference. I'm sleeping well, profusely, like soundly sleeping. It's been amazing. And he's not feeling well. And I said, good, because now he needs to deal with his stuff, because otherwise you've been picking it up and caretaking him on this energetic level, right? So I think the I Love Lucy shows and all those shows that had the two single beds had a good idea in some ways, right? All right. So I just want you to take that and think about that, if that's affecting your life, and how you might need to put up an energetic wall so that your mate needs to take care of their own physical burden and emotional burden as we carry on to the emotional component next time we meet. So the way to put up an energetic wall is to just imagine it in your mind's eye. Say your good nights, have your fun, whatnot. And when it's time to actually go to sleep, imagine a big wall of light, floor to ceiling, or at least like 4 feet, high or whatever, between you and your mate, so that you are on your side and they're on their side. You're dealing with your energy content and they're dealing with theirs, and have it be, set with your intention to say, this is going to be here the whole night and keep me on my side and keep them on their side, and just see how that goes for you. So it's just, again, all in your imagination, and it's set with intention, and thoughts are things, and energy is real, and it will totally work. Trust me on this. So your homework, until we meet again, is about really tuning into your own ability to make an empathic connection in an effort to feel what someone else is feeling physically, whether they're right in front of you, across the room, or across the world. And next time, I'll talk about the other ways that empathic connection can give you other types of information between now and next time. That's what I want you to pay attention to. Noticing when you're picking up other people's feelings empathically, and what the feelings are telling you. And then how you might want to do it with intention, not in a way of like really, energetic voyeur trying to figure out other people, but maybe when it's appropriate. And then also what you can do about it, whether you still let it linger and you carry it throughout the day, and then you realize, oh, wow, this headache is because I was picking up their headache, or noticing when you need to really clear it, or how you might want to shift your energy field, your auric field, so that you're not picking it up, or noticing that when you do, you need to cleanse and clear and ground and center and get back in your body. All right. That's your homework, is to pay attention to your own soul's awareness in this way. Thank you so much for joining me for this segment on empathic connection and empathic ClairSensation. It's just a brief look. Again, this whole segment series right now, I'm going in at a brief look, and then we'll really explore them deeper later on as we have all of these different skills to pull from. Thank you so much for tuning in. Legally speaking, this podcast is presented solely for educational, spiritual, and entertainment purposes. It is not intended as a substitute for medical diagnosis, treatment, or the advice of a physician, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem or condition. Always check with your doctor. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. If you've enjoyed this episode with Constance Messmer, we'd like to encourage you to continue your spiritual journey with this next episode.